Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the 2020 love outlook for Gemini. Now this reading is going to be a love outlook for a Gemini that is already involved with someone that's in a relationship, and they want to see what the outlook this year for their relationship is. Or if you're not actually together, if you already know who your soulmate is, you already have an idea of who it is you're wanting to connect with, right? So this is the reading for that, all right? So it's not so much a general reading. It's more really for connected Geminis, right? All right, let's get into it. We're going to pull out romance angel messages, 2 of them. Then we're going to pull out 2 animal spirits. All right, and then we'll pull out your spread. This is a 2020 outlook for the year. And I am considering doing a singles reading, but I'm not quite sure about it just yet. Thinking about it, but we shall see. See what the energies are like. But in any case, this is for you Geminis who have your eye on a soulmate connection, or eye on someone that you are either with, want to be with, even if you're having a momentary break, you know, someone that you and someone are connected. All right. Straight out, we have give your relationship a chance. Okay. And we also have reconciliation. All right. So these are the 2 messages for you and your soulmate connection. All right, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and pull out your animal spirits. Of course, it's quite interesting, right? Give your relationship a chance of reconciliation. So this would indicate that this is for starting off, at least for a Gemini, that perhaps there has been a break in this connection. You guys may be getting back together this year. Let's see here. Alright, let's see what your animal spirits are for this year. Ooh, look at the line. Alright. Show me what Gemini is going through this year with their love connection, with this reconciliation. Show me. Cards are jumpy. Cow spirit. Miracles are endless, right? And we have the flamingo. Embrace the in-between. All right. Let us see what this means for you and your partner. Wow. Interesting. Very nice animal spirits. Definitely when it comes to a reconciliation, right? All right, so with the cow spirit and the flamingo, let's look at these, both of these beautiful animal spirits. The cow spirit is all about abundance coming in, right? Understanding. Miracles are endless, and so is abundance, right? But the cow spirit very much talks about giving to receive, right? This is a time to sort of feed, you know, the energy that brings miracles. Feed sort of like, you know, the life that you want to live, right? Give it the energy that you know you can, right? Be generous to others, right? Generosity brings more abundance. Give of your time, give of your spirit, right? And be very much present in the moment right now in terms of being very grateful for what you already have. Now, the flamingo spirit talks about embracing the in-between, right? And we're very much here like talking about balance, right? The flamingo, we often find them in the wild sort of standing on one leg and balancing, right? And so in this way, you can remember that right now, this year, there's an energy of having one foot in the past and one foot poised to be to step into the future, right? So you're very much right in between, right? Now the past can inform the future, but you have to still be very present now. So this is not living in the past, but this is sort of learning from the past, taking what you've already experienced and having it help you to sort of make the right decisions going forward, right? This is a time also where creativity can be increasing, but again, only if you remain absolutely in the moment and balanced, right? And not forgetting what you've already learned. Now, if we're talking about a relationship and reconciliation, this could very much be a case of, yes, there is reconciliation possible, right? But remember what happened before, and find a way to balance what you've learned from the past to inform sort of the state of your future relationship. Now we're going to go ahead and pull out your 6 cards. And these are going to be how you see yourself, how your partner sees you, and how you see this relationship, all right? Show me what Gemini is going to be dealing with this year in the area of their connection with their soulmate for 2020. Show me. All right, Gemini. How you see yourself, star energy. Let's move this up. How your person sees themselves, Ace of Swords. How you see your person and how they see you. And how you see the relationship and how they see the relationship. Okay, so very nice. At the bottom, we have 9 of Swords. So there has been definitely some pain, right? Trying to overcome pain and regret of the past. Absolutely. Now, how you see yourself and how your person sees themselves. You are very much trying to sort of manifest your wish here with this love connection, right? And star energy, certainly, star is associated with Aquarius, but it's also about constantly feeding your desire, your wish, rather, not just your desire, but the wish for your life, fertilizing the wish for your life. And I think that in a lot of ways, you have been, Gemini, you perhaps have been really sort of thinking about your own sort of, your wish for your life, even separate from this person. I think that perhaps there has been maybe some time off from each other, right? Some regret and sadness for this time off. But during this time off, you've really been thinking about yourself, right? And what you want for your life, what you want for a relationship as well. And I think that there's been some healing that's happened, right? But certainly there's been a feeling of really sort of like, checking back in with yourself. The star talks about, when we say we're pouring our emotions into our wishes, we're also tending to our wishes. And part of that is sort of checking in with yourself in a sense of like, what do I feel? How do I feel about this relationship? And where I'm at now in my life, is this relationship or is this connection what I truly desire? Because we're not always the same people. throughout our lives we change, and sometimes we mature, and sometimes we have, trauma that we have to get over, and we're always up and down, right? And so right now, at this stage in your life, you've been very sort of contemplative, and I think you've really been thinking a lot about what you truly wish for and desire in a relationship. Your person is resonating with Ace of Swords, and they're feeling very clear. Much clearer than they were before. There's almost a sense of new clarity coming in, right? I wonder if maybe you were dealing with someone who perhaps they had some sort of like mental haziness that affected the relationship, something that was clouding their judgment, but now it seems as though they're resonating with this sword. Excuse me, my cat. This feels very much like your person has found certainly a new sense of clarity, but it's almost as if they've really opened up to a new way of thinking as well, It could be that information has come in that's kind of vindicated them to a certain degree, because Ace of Swords also represents that. And it could very well be that because when we're talking about a relationship coming back together, definitely when we have give your relationship a chance of reconciliation, clearly something has happened here, right? There's Nine of Swords energy, so definitely there were sad times for you and sort of times when you were alone, right? So if we're thinking about the situation in that way, this Ace of Swords almost feels to me like your person may have been unfairly treated, or perhaps there was something unfair that was going on, maybe information or gossip or some other sort of interference into your relationship. But this year, it's almost as if your person is being vindicated. Perhaps the truth is coming out about something, right? Where before there was a lot of haziness, there may have not been so much honesty. Now your person is resonating with a huge level of truth, honesty, clarity, and whatever has happened or come in. Please excuse my cat because she absolutely freaks out sometimes. Whatever clarity is coming in, it does feel for them like they've been vindicated in some way, right? And of course, that feels very much like things may have been a little bit unfair to them to some degree, right? Now, how you see your person and how they see you. It's interesting that you both see each other as fire energy, which is Wands. You see them as a Knight of Wands and they see you as a Page of Wands, right? And this is very compatible. Now, the Knight of Wands is the airy aspect of fire, and the Page of Wands is the earthy aspect of fire. And so you see them very much as sort of that, the knight in shining armor, the one who comes through, the one who sort of is your cheerleader, the one who's very sort of supportive in a lot of ways. And we're talking about this year, right? Not necessarily so much what happened before, but this year you're feeling as though they're really stepping to the plate. They're being very active about pursuing their desire to be with you. They're pursuing the passion for this relationship, right? They're being very active about being supportive for you. And it makes perfect sense because the way they see you is very idealistic, right? Page of Wands is someone who's very idealistic. Someone who's learning how to follow their passions. Someone who has overcome fear. Right? The major thing with Page of Wands is overcoming the fear of following your own vision and your own ideals and not worrying about what anybody else thinks. And it's like, you are an inspiration to them and they want to do everything they can to support you. This is very nice. And this is definitely a feeling of mutual understanding and intention. Now, how you see the relationship and how they see the relationship. You see the relationship as a Ten of Wands, right? And they see it as a Seven of Pentacles. So you feel very much like this year, the relationship, you're going to be able to unburden yourself finally, right? Perhaps you were carrying a lot of responsibilities before. Perhaps you were carrying a lot of sort of burdens or baggage from previous relationships that may have interfered with this relationship, but this year you're ready to sort of lay it down. And Gemini, it feels very much like you realize that this baggage you've been carrying around with you has gone from perhaps being an aid in the short term to serving as a crutch to finally being a hindrance. And this is now where you feel like carrying this is so oppressive that you have to lay it down, right? And so this is really affecting the ability for you to have some reconciliation, because I think you're ready to let go. Could very well be, Gemini, that you needed to do some healing in your own way, and your person certainly needed to be able to come out of whatever sort of haze or fog or perhaps sort of unfair treatment that they have been under or subjected to. And so it's a release of burden, certainly all the way around. They, however, see the relationship as a Seven of Pentacles. And so they're really reevaluating, if it's worth it. They're reevaluating if it's worth it. It's all the hard work I've put into this relationship. The fruit that I'm getting back, is it worth the hard work I'm putting into it? And I'm not saying that they don't want to work for the relationship, but I think that they themselves have also gone through a very contemplative period, and this year will continue to be that way, right? I almost wonder, Gemini, as it almost feels like your partner is the one who really got the short end of the stick, or perhaps was the one who was unfairly treated in some way. I'm not necessarily saying by you, but it's almost as if they got sort of a difficult shake in this relationship, and part of the need for this reconciliation is because of what they've really had to endure. It almost feels as though they were the ones who walked away. Or they were the ones who really had to sort of stand up for themselves. You know what I mean? Because when Seven of Pentacles is like really sort of, 7 being the number for wishes and dreams. Remember, the star is the 17. 7 of Pentacles is very much like, wow, I've put all this work in, and what I'm getting back, do I want to keep working for this garden? Do I want to change my garden? Do I want to change the amount of work I'm putting in? Is this really what I desire? And I think they'll be thinking about this year. And to be quite honest with you, Gemini, I'm going to say that if you're resonating with this reading, if everything else is kind of resonating with your situation, this is very much a case of you may indeed have a second chance with someone where they've really had to put up with a lot. They really had to put up with a lot. Now, if you're willing to lay down the baggage, if you're willing to lay down your wands for this relationship, which it indicates you are, then there may be time for some reconciliation. Remember the cow spirit. The cow is grateful for what he has. It almost feels as though perhaps Gemini, and so 9 of Swords makes a lot of sense. Perhaps Gemini, you're realizing that, you had it quite good with this person, and you don't want it to get messed up again. 9 of Swords energy is here. And of course, I'm reading from your perspective, and this is really something that has covered or been underneath of all of this. 9 of Swords is regret, anxiety, sleepless nights, thinking about, the regret of how a situation went. It's a solitary experience, as with all the 9 cards. The person is always alone, and here it was very much like you having to face up to something alone. Like, what have I done? How did I behave? Why did this happen this way? I wish it didn't happen. I'm sorry. This is very much a misery we put on ourselves when we feel guilty or regretful. And so this is a chance, really, for a Gemini out there who really wants their wish to be back together with someone. They want this connection back. You feel as though this is your soulmate, because this is part of a wish you have for your life. But definitely something went on here, and certainly your soulmate, or this person, right, this connection that you're with, they feel great this year. They feel absolutely vindicated. And so more and more, I feel like information is coming forth that's going to vindicate them, that's going to prove that really they have tried their best. And they, and then once again, like I say, this situation was perhaps a little bit lopsided, right? They do believe in you, though. Page of Wands, they see you as very idealistic, but however, pages are quite immature. So it could very well be that they've seen you as being quite immature at times. Perhaps overly idealistic, and which oftentimes can be a little bit self-righteous, all right? But you recognize these things, and I think you recognize that this person has really always been on your side, and that there needs to be gratitude. There also needs to be a remembrance of what happened in the past, so that the same mistakes don't happen in the future. And if you really, like I said, if you resonate with this and you know who I'm talking about, clearly I don't, but if you know what love connection I'm talking about, and you do feel that strongly about it, this 10 of Wands better happen. Because I don't think that they're going to stick around for a second run. And I'm going to tell you, if this person resonates with this, certainly for most of the year, they will always be sort of on edge. They're always going to be sort of like, all right. Because the same way with the flamingo spirit, we have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot ready to go in the future. This person is always going to have 1 foot out the door if they see signs of this relationship going back to kind of the dysfunction that it was at before, right? Because they're very much at a place now in their lives where they're like, is it really worth it? Is it worth it for me to keep, putting all this effort in? So definitely put that effort in to lay down those burdens and that baggage, Gemini, so that you can get your lover back. All right, guys, I hope this resonates with you. This is your 2020 outlook. If it does, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment if you want and let me know what you're going through. All right, guys, but for right now, Gemini, this is your 2020 love outlook for you and a person that it seems to me you really would love to have back in your life. And there's always a second chance, but it's all down to how much you want it and how much you're willing to work for it. All right, guys, bye-bye now.